Hey real estate investors, today I want to talk about a recent BRRR property that we're working on. All right, so what we got here is a simple 3-bedroom, 1-bath house. We have gas heat, hot water radiator heat here. And what we decided to do in this home, and I'll show some before pictures, but what we tried to do in this home was make it as simple as possible. Some of the things we needed to do was rip out the floor. It was literally several layers of flooring in here, and the reason we chose to do this rather than just floor over top of it is the door jambs were so high that if I would have put another layer in, I would have had to start cutting down the door. So didn't want to do that. So we ended up ripping out, as you can see here, we decided not to extend this baseboard trim here, but it was about 1.5 inches thick. So crazy thickness. We ended up adding baseboard in here, and we put a luxury vinyl plank flooring in here, which makes it look really nice. We decided to do that partly because it's a glue down product. And the reason I talked about this in another video, we use this because if sections of it get scratched up, sections of it get damaged, we can peel that section up, and I have a couple boxes left over from the remodel. So what it was before, some of the things we did in the kitchen here is just trying to make it a little nicer, a little cleaner. We were thinking about doing a tile backsplash, subway tile. We actually decided we were thinking about flipping it, but we decided not to, and we just did it as cheaply as possible, I guess you could say. Didn't do the subway tile. Maybe should have, but I think it looks pretty good for now as a rental. So what we did add a dishwasher. We wanted to add value here. Added new cabinets, stock shaker cabinets, really cheap, inexpensive way to go on stock cabinets. When we bought this, there was a wall that we took out. There was a wall that came right splitting these two rooms in half. So somewhere right in here was that wall that came out through here, and the kitchen was in this small area right here, and it just made it look so bad. So what we decided to do was rip that wall out and move the kitchen over to where it is now, and open this area up just a little bit to give us more room, more desired layout. So really simple layout. We put this flooring in the whole house. The bathroom, we actually ended up putting tile in there, and we used epoxy grout. And I am one that would say, well, if I'm paying for grouting and that kind of thing, I would much rather have a good grout that's going to last a long time than have it break up and or have it stain and look really gross in a couple years. And so I'll show you that. But I'm going to go down the basement here. One of the things we chose to do here, we didn't dress it up really too much because of the rental down here, but a couple reasons I really like this home. It is very, very simple. It is an in-between row home, block exteriors, basement walls, brick exterior, very low maintenance on the exterior, vinyl windows. We added a washer dryer hookup down here. And it has an older boiler here, hot water boiler, gas. But hey, I'm fine with that. It's working, it's inoperable, it's operating well. Same with the water heater, and that is operating well as well. So another thing, great panels. There's no knob and tube in this tile house. Not overly concerned about knob and tube, but there is no knob and tube in here. So yeah, really straightforward, painted steps. Had to add your carbons and your smokes, which is what you want to do anyway. We ended up redevicing everything just because we could, and makes it look 10 times better when you put new electrical devices in and all that as well. So the backyard, again, really simple. Even came with a little Lowe's or Home Depot shed, plastic shed. sure, whatever, I'll just keep it up. It's low maintenance, no maintenance really until it falls over. And we'll just keep it there for the tenant to be able to store their mower and that kind of thing. So it'll be the tenant's responsibility to maintain the yard and mow and all that stuff. Then again, we did certain things. I have no carpet in here. I hate carpet. Don't want carpet in my rentals. So we ended up painting the steps. They were painted before. We just touched them up with another paint. Like I said, we did flooring, same flooring throughout. I made it a little bit nicer looking. We ended up putting new doorknobs in and that kind of thing. Simple bedrooms. All these bedrooms are, again, simple, straightforward. Each have their own closet. And I like that about these properties. As you can see, the blinds, I actually added mini blinds. Most rental units, I will not do that, but the reason I chose to is because I wanted to screw it fast to the drywall. And we'll see how it goes. I mean, to be honest, I'm not 100% sure I like or I'm sold on the idea of me doing the mini blinds. Again, they're cheaper. They're not the nicer ones, so I'm not spending a fortune on them. I think I spent $50 for all of the windows except for the kitchen window. I didn't put any in. Again, it's one thing you don't have to do. I chose to do it just because I wanted to make this a little bit of a nicer rental and try and get the most money out of it as we could. Originally, this thing was renting for $800 a month, and the previous people trashed it. They had dogs and cats. There was fleas galore. I mean, they had to spray this thing multiple times to get this cleaned up. It was nasty in here. There was carpet in this bedroom here. It had dog poop on the all over the carpet over here. Again, we ripped that all out. It was nasty. And again, we just put this simple flooring in because we can come in and clean it up, and if we have to, we can touch up paint. I just painted all the walls white. It actually is technically an off-white color, but it looks pretty white relative to the trim and all that stuff as well. I wanted to keep it clean, grays and whites, to attract more modern tenant looking. It looks a little more modern in itself. So here's the tile that we did. 12 by 24s, epoxy grouts, new toilet, new kit vanity, new spigot and light. We kept the exhaust fan that was there. We cleaned it. It was nasty, dirty, but we cleaned it up. New shower faucet. And then we kept the tub surround, which it's a little dinged up here and there. Not overly excited about it, but if we have to, we can do a bath fitter over top of it at some point. Don't like doing that, but if we had to, we could. But I basically grouted right up, or tile right up to the ceiling. It keeps it more simple that way. Did a little bullnose there at the end, edges. So one of the problems that we often see with rental homes is this. Is we see a big leak issue, so water just spilling over the edge. So what we tried to do is we epoxy grouted right up against there. We'll see how that holds. I mean, hopefully the tenants are clean and they keep the water out from getting out of the tub. But I also changed the trim here in around the door. Now I probably didn't have to do it, but I chose to, just to make this as sealed proof as possible. Again, as possible. And what we decided to do, it's actually a PVC. So it's not an actual MDF product or anything like that. And then I caulk around the bottom here and caulked around to seal it up. So if water gets on the floor here and kind of runs that way, it won't get in behind and start to rot out the wood. We saw that with the previous trim on here. The wood underneath was starting to rot just from the moisture issue. So we ended up, again, just caulking all this and sealing this up, and with PVC trim here. So hopefully to keep up and be able to maintain for long periods of time. I'm an investor that wants to provide a service and a property that I don't have to do maintenance down the road. I want to do it right the first time. That way I don't have to do it again later. So it's just something I choose to do. Some investors don't do that. Some will just make a quick repair. I personally just like, you're going to get a better quality tenant if you have a better quality home. And that's how I feel. Will it happen all the time? No, probably not. There's times where a tenant may slip through screening some way, shape, or form. But we have a pretty stringent screening process. So it's just one thing we try to do as an investors, but to keep this as simple as possible. So we can come in here after a tenant moves out. Hopefully this tenant will stay for 3 years. And we'll have this tenant live here for 3+ years, and it'll be a good investment, and low maintenance, low turnover costs. And we changed a lot of things here. Now the windows we didn't replace, we kept them the same. But all in all, just a really good, solid, simple home. I love simple. As soon as you start chopping up buildings and getting into older buildings, it can get really complicated really quick. This is really simple and straightforward home construction. And I don't have windows on the outside. I have neighbors on either side. So that's really good. The roof is a little older, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep that for now until we start to have any leaks, and then we'll replace it. Should be only about $5,000 to replace the simple roof like this. So one of the other things, so we ended up buying this thing for $77,500. We were all in about $80,000. With closing costs and everything in PA. We had about $20,000 in rehab here, and originally it was renting for $800 a month. Now, the tenant did move out, they did clean it up, and they were gonna try and rent it out before I bought it, but I stopped that, and they were gonna rent it out at $995. Now, $995 is not too bad, so just under $1,000. But we just put it on the market and we did the $20,000. So we're hoping should appraise for about $125,000. So we'll hopefully BRRRR this thing, get all of our money back out, and be able to move on to another property. Now, what we also chose to do here is rent it for, we put it on the market for $1,375. As of right now, we have an approved applicant, and they look to move in here in about 3 weeks. So really good. We increased the rent here significantly, almost, well, yeah, we were $380 a month from what they were going to originally get at $995, and we stuck in $20,000 on this. So all in, this is a really good deal. If every deal was like this would be perfect. But not every deal runs like this. So, but hey, if I can hit a home run here with this, we're on pace for that right now. So super excited about this one. Not everyone's like this. Sometimes we got to leave some money in, which is no problem. But we really love these BRRRRs. This is how a BRRRR should go, and wish every BRRRR could do this. But anyways, hopefully there's a little bit of insight of what we try to do as investors. Hopefully this helps you guys as well, and what we try to do. I will say this. Out front, we're actually going to end up, it'll cost me a little more to do this, but I'm thinking I'm going to do this. And that is this huge tree out front. This is a huge oak tree. We are actually going to cut this thing down. I got a couple quotes, and one was at like $3,800. They're gonna cut it out, grind the stump out, and add dirt. I was like, $3,800 to cut that tree down, I'm all about it. The reason we're gonna do that is it's a lot of money to bite. Is it necessary? Probably not. You wouldn't have to do it. The reason I'm doing it is the sewer line comes out of the basement here and goes right across there. Now, I don't know if you can see, there's a clean out right at the curb there. If I can get out through here. There's a clean out right here. And so sometimes you have huge trees like this, you're gonna end up having a big issue with roots clogging the sewer line. And so we just wanna get out of that. We don't wanna have that in our, have that issue because that's a $10,000 fix. So I'd rather cut the tree down. Plus, we had a lot of algae and leaves getting in the gutters, and that's causing water damage. That did cause water damage along the one side here. We cleaned that up and got that taken care of and put gutter guards in, but I'd prefer just to get rid of this thing. And if it starts to fall, I mean, I guess you could do an insurance claim if it would fall or anything like that, but we just really thought that $3,800 was not a bad price to pay to get that thing out of here. We'll do that. We'll take that hit to have a simple, safe home that we can, be very reliable is the goal. So anyways, just a few tips of what we did, whether it's good or bad, I don't know, but we try to do this with a lot of our properties and try to make it as simple as possible. Hope you guys learned a lot, and keep on investing.